city. I'm riding through the city with my high beams on. I'm riding through the city.
All right, y'all, welcome to the check down.
Yo, it's the check down.
We are here. We are live.
From the basement, shorty. This ain't BET, it's my basement. It's MOE.
Rap City. Rap City. Yeah. Remember that show?
That's the booth.
That's the booth over there. You know what I mean?
Freestyle later. No.
Nah. Yeah, man, I'm kind of down today. I mean, I know it's kind of a pretty sunny day, but I'm kind of down.
Why are you down, man?
I missed out on perfection last night.
Perfection?
Perfection.
You're perfect in me.
Oh, appreciate it. Last night I had bowling 10 frames. First 9 strikes. Had a chance for a perfect game, man. It's like going a perfect game into the 9th inning in baseball.
Like LeBron.
And you know what happened? Friggin' CNI single. Just one stupid pin, the 9 pin. Good ball, just didn't fall down.
Do you feel more like Kobe today or LeBron?
Well, we won.
Okay, so
every
you're Kobe.
game.
Yeah,
So,
all right. So you balled,
Yeah.
just missed one free throw.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that.
There's a chance, you say he had 79, hit that free throw to get 80. Didn't get it.
You know,
what I mean?
you just, packing the stats, man. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chasing that 300 ring, man. 9 years of bowling.
You want me to get it for you?
That'd be great. But
No,
I
I'm
want to
terrible
bowl
at
first,
bowling. I will fall. I would probably.
I've had 11 in a row twice. I missed the first frame and then got all the rest. I've had that twice. I have a plaque and a trophy in my room for it. I've thrown 279s countless times. But can never get a 300. One day, people. One day it'll happen.
I would have like 10 beers afterwards.
I was so blown. I was
row.
so just down yesterday.
Straight.
Because you sit there thinking about it.
But you look happy today. I can't tell. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know.
I'm moving past it.
Because you're probably going to go bowling next week and probably just do it again.
I'm going to try. And I was bowling the best bowler in the house, too. So, it's like bowling like Kobe Bryant when you're sitting there. Like, he's been great for years. And you're like, yeah, this is I'm like Kevin Durant. This is my chance to, take him down. I beat him, but...
Get your name painted on the wall.
I could have had my name on the wall, man. On the wall. Bam, 300. That's me. I would took a picture with Facebook, everything.
Make sure you put Gandhi in between Steven and Logsdon.
Yeah, damn it.
I am not peaceful. You see what I did on that? What's it? It's not a court.
Lanes.
Lane. See what I did in that lane?
Yeah.
Work.
All right, we're going to start off. We're going to talk about the 500.
Lane music.
Lane music. Yeah, man. I get nice. Talk about the Daytona 500. A lot of rain last week. Caused it to go Monday evening. The first time the Daytona 500 has ever been scheduled back a day. So it happened late, and then already fireworks on the first couple
Maybe
laps.
that's what threw you off.
What?
That it moved back a day.
Yeah. I was trying to watch The Rock on wrestling, man. Raw. Rock was back. I was trying to watch that.
He's back in the building.
Yeah. Finally, The Rock. Okay, I won't get into that. But first lap, Jimmy Johnson, 5-time champion, gets wrecked, put in the wall. First, they've been sitting around for 36 hours, and he gets put in the wall.
And darn, he's not my favorite racer, so.
Not mine either. But he goes through. It was a pretty good race. All of a sudden, with 40 to go, really the big storyline, Juan Pablo Montoya, something breaks on his car. He comes up and hits the jet engine dryer that's drying the track, and it explodes.
Yeah.
Huge fire.
He just walks away.
His car is destroyed. The jet engine's on fire, gas everywhere.
And he just walks away.
Yeah. 2 hours, some delay.
Juan Pablo,
well.
Don't he just walk, he just walks away.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess I'll race tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. You guys deal with that.
Yeah. What's he gonna do? I gotta go to the infield care center.
It didn't look like he cared that much.
Yeah, it caused a 2-hour delay, and then it came down to the final lap. Matt Kenseth was able to win his second Daytona 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished second. Greg Biffle third.
You had him.
I had him. I said I said it on last week. I said Dale Jr. Said if not him, Kyle Busch finished 17th, but
Yeah, I was watching the last couple laps, and I was like, yo, Gandhi's going to be so mad.
I know. And
if Dale Earnhardt doesn't get this one.
Tired of second.
What did Edwards finish?
Edwards, he finished, he was kind of towards the back. Eighth. That's where he finished.
And then my man, Gordon.
Gordon, he had an engine blow up.
Yeah,
engine blew up on him. He finished towards the back. I don't know exactly.
And then Danica Patrick was just bumper cars all weekend.
Yeah, she got third time she wrecked this weekend. Or that weekend, last weekend. And that's wrecked on the first lap.
If you crash in 3 days, you should not be driving.
That wasn't her. Like, the second one, the one on Saturday in the Nationwide, she was wrecked. Like, someone spun her out and put her in the wall. And then the Jimmy Johnson wreck, she got caught up. It wasn't even her fault.
I
feel bad on that respect.
You all who you associate yourself with.
I hope she does well. I'm rooting for her,
whatever.
I think it'd be good for the sport to see her doing all right,
I think it'd be good for the sport if Earnhardt actually wins.
Who needs to win more, Junior or NASCAR? Who needs Junior to win more? Excuse me, Junior himself or NASCAR?
Junior.
I think both. Junior said he's like, I was great about being in the chase. He's like, but I want to win, not just for I want to win for my fans.
Yeah.
Like he's the most popular driver for 9 years in a row. He wants to win for his fans. He wants to win for people like me. All right.
I support you, Dale Earnhardt. I need you to get that W.
Yeah, but I think he gets through this year. Don't know when, but that's a good start to start out second like that.
Mark Martin came in 10th.
Yeah, Mark Martin.
Old man
10th.
still doing it.
Stewart, last year's champion, finished 16th. He got caught up in a little wreck late in the race as well. But if it wasn't for the rain and the big blow up, I think the race in itself I thought was good. It was just
Hit
to me,
my papers.
I just felt that it was overshadowed by the rain and the blow up jet dryer. I've never seen anything like that jet dryer incident.
I would like to drive a NASCAR, like 200 miles per hour. No one else on the track.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The Richard Petty driving experience, you can do that.
I want to.
Yeah, we should do that. We
should.
should go to I think it's in Charlotte. There's a couple different spots, but the closest to us would be in Charlotte. We should go there, Lowe's Motor Speedway, and turn some laps.
You think they'll let me drink a couple brews before I go?
No.
I'm not joking. Drinking and driving is bad.
Team drinking is all right.
I went to Dare. I passed.
There you go. So did I. It was like 5th grade. We're gonna move it on to something that's more, I guess, endear to your heart.
No, this is business. This is what happens.
Hines Ward, great
Yes.
Hines Ward, was released. Salary cap issue, and plus he'd been passed by everybody.
Completely
on the
understandable.
They also released Aaron Smith.
Well, he's been hurt.
So football-wise, you believe that's a good decision?
Yeah, need Mike Wallace.
Right, absolutely.
I think Hines
they're
needs to
$4 million
retire.
Yeah, they're $4 million closer to doing that now. My question before we get into the Mike Wallace situation: Hines Ward, is he a Hall of Famer?
I think so, just because of how he changed as far as receivers blocking, he kind of sacrificed his numbers to make the whole team better.
True.
So,
I feel he was never like.
I think
the top guy.
I would be okay either or. I could see him if he got it, and I'd be like, all right. If he didn't, I'd be like, yeah, I can see that.
I think for me, it was obviously it would be after a few bouts because people like Chris Carter, I feel is a better receiver than him, but he's not in.
Oh, you know, number one receiver on the best team in NFL history.
Yeah. Well,
and a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying he's had a great career, but I always felt he was very good. I never felt he was the elite guy. You know what I mean? I don't think there was ever a situation we sat there, we named 5 receivers, we had him in that.
I think
discussion.
I think you could really go either way.
But I've seen Skip Bayless, agrees with you. He has him in, and he has him
in more than I do.
Yeah, he's very harsh on his Hall of Fame credentials, and he has him in. So I think that says a lot. I think playing for the Steelers and winning 2 Super Bowls, that's going to help him. I think if he had this career on a team like the Chiefs that didn't win a Super Bowl, I don't
if he
think
gets in, then Ben is no doubt.
He's a lock. Yeah.
A lock.
I think Ben will be in.
Yeah, I do
he's
too.
already got 2 rings.
That's my quarterback.
He'll probably win another one. To be honest with you, before it's all said and
Hey
done.
Owens, that's my quarterback. Rings.
Don't
dog.
cry about it.
Romo.
Let's not cry. Yeah. That's my quarterback. You see T.O., by the way, scored 3 touchdowns in his
Yeah, what a douchebag. He only
3
plays
catches,
home,
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he only plays home games because he's too good to get on the plane to go over.
Apparently he's broke too. So I don't know. For me, you're already there. Why don't you just play the way?
How do you go broke and you're always on TV?
MTV Cribs, man. He
We're
had a huge
never on
house.
TV, and I'm not broke.
Nah.
I mean, I'm good.
I got paid today. It's payday, baby. You know who's trying to get paid? Mike Wallace.
Yeah.
What do you think? They did not franchise him. They gave him a first round tender, not a first and third, a first round tender only. So he can free to negotiate with whoever. If the Steelers do not match, the other team has to give up their first round pick or a first round pick. I'm not sure the exact rules.
I kind of think they already know Mike Wallace is coming back.
Think so?
I think they kind of have an agreement or something. I don't know. Why would you do that?
To me, it's franchise guarantees he's back.
Yeah.
Tender, I feel you're playing with fire, especially in a situation where they're not in a cap position. You know what I mean? They don't.
Okay,
they don't have the
now
flexibility
does he have to
cap-wise.
agree? If a team comes in office, does he have to agree to it?
Pick a team. Say, all right, we talked about the Patriots last week. Say the Patriots came through and they said, we're going to offer you this many years, this contract. And he's like, that's great. I agree. He agrees to a deal with them.
So he has to agree.
Exactly. He agrees to a deal with whatever team, whatever NFL team. And then the Steelers come back. They got a week to match to decide where they want to match it. They match. That's his contract for them. They keep him, but that's his contract. The only issue with the Steelers, like we talked about, is that the cap situation does not let them the flexibility to do that because they are over the cap. They can't fit them under. And obviously, if you're not under the cap, X amount of dollars, you're not going to be able to do it.
They need to release. They did Ward. Aaron Smith is next.
Ferrier.
Casey Hampton needs to go. Ferrier needs to go.
Yeah, he's probably gone.
Okay, gone. McFadden, he's always hurt.
I thought was he released? I guess I know he's been on the block, but I mean, yeah, but they definitely got to get that number. Because you got to figure, what do you think, Lamar? He's going to be one of the higher paid, especially being so young and having such great 2 years. He's going to get good money.
All these people they're releasing, man, are the people that held us back last year because they were always hurt.
Or old.
Yeah. And
or
it's
slow or whatever.
exactly. And, Yeah.
To me, I feel I still kind of agree with you. I don't think he'll leave, but if a team like the Redskins, the Redskins is a bad example because they're going to trade their first round pick for to try to get RG3.
I think the most dangerous team is the 49ers in New England.
Yeah, 49ers in New England. Like, the 49ers, they obviously have been open about getting a receiver. New England's got 3 first-round picks. What's the 21st pick or whatever it is, their first-round pick to them when they got 2 more in their pocket?
Yeah, and the reason I don't say Baltimore, I just don't see Mike Wallace agreeing to go to Baltimore. That's kind of like...
Well, I just don't see... And Ozzie Newsome also seems like he's not... Well, I guess he did with Anquan Bolden, but I don't know.
I think
How many is he going to give him the money?
I think he's bluffing.
But I think it would be a great move football-wise for the Ravens to do that with Flacco's arm, taking him away from the enemy, so to speak, division rival.
I don't care what people say. Mike Wallace is better than Torrey Smith.
Oh, absolutely. By far.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Wallace is one of the best receivers in the league. And if you don't agree with that, I don't know.
Because his production went down the last 6 games. Yeah, that's because he was getting double teamed.
He was getting 100 yards a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're going to take him out.
Antonio Brown, had a lot of success because people were giving him attention. I think Mike Wallace can ball.
I think if I was the Steelers, I probably would have kept Ward and released Casey Hampton.
Think so?
Yeah.
Hampton, I mean,
he has 2 ACL tears in his knee in the past 2 years.
Kind of like Chris Jenkins' situation.
Yeah.
Back when
Let him go, man.
So it'd be interesting to see. But free agency didn't start till 13th, I believe. So we got some time time to figure that out as far as the cap situation. I know cut day I want to say is in a week because I know the Peyton Manning was like the.
I love off-season football.
It's great, man, because you never know what's gonna happen. Yeah. I hope the Lions. You better get Cliff Averill under contract, man. We need him. All right, draft. We just had the combine this past weekend. Andrew Luck ran 4.67. Pretty good for a big guy like him.
Pretty good for a white guy.
And
I'm just being honest. No offense, stat boy.
RG3 ran 4.41, which I honestly was disappointed because he's Olympic sprinter speed.
4.4?
4.41 was his official. And, I heard things about he was 220 pounds. All the people that run less than 4.4 or less than 200 pounds. But, Calvin Johnson ran 4.35 at 235. And he's not an Olympic sprinter. So that was my kind of thing. I was like, I felt he should have been low 4.3. Michael Vick ran 4.33. Granted, he is 200 pounds, 190, whatever it was at the time. Even Dion, there's talks about he ran in the 4.2, stuff like that. Chris Johnson. So I know they're smaller guys, but they're not Olympic. I feel if you're an Olympic sprinter.
Well, okay. Well, maybe he does. Maybe he just had an off day that day.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
if Dion's saying he's ran a 4.2, but I haven't seen the clock officially.
Yeah. Well, I heard that the story is that he ran at the combine and then left. Just kept running the tunnel and left the combine. He's like, I'm out after he ran it. And he wouldn't interview. The interview with different teams. He felt if you were picking too low in the first round, he wouldn't even talk to you. No. He's like, you're not gonna be available.
Prime time.
I mean, it worked out for him, but he couldn't.
I say so.
Can't wear. I don't think it would be able to.
Then
do it
now
nowadays.
He works for the NFL Network, and he stays before, during, and after the Columbine.
Yeah.
Interviewing people.
But RG3. I mean, granted, 4.4 is really fast, and I think he plays very fast in the game. He's gonna be electrifying. Dude, the Rams are in a very good position right now.
They need to get Moss. They need to get RG3 with Steven Jackson in the backfield and those little man.
So you don't think they should trade it? I think Bradford was, he's rookie of the year. I think you give him offensive line.
I think if you have RG3 back there with a running game like that, and you can bring in Moss, you have a little nice receiving core. That's a dangerous team. That's a quick team.
So for me, is that you say what's the best fit? That's the question. What is the best fit for RG3? You say it's the Rams.
Yeah.
So you say get him,
Moss. On Washington.
See, me, I lend to Washington. I hate. Well, I'm not going to say hate. I don't like Shanahan as a coach. I feel he power trips. He hasn't done anything since Elway and Terrell Davis retired, and he feels like he's entitled to something. I don't care. He's won 2 Super Bowls. That's great and all. But I've watched what he's done in the past, decade coaching. The Cutler and Marshall issues. They were 8-4, lost 4 in a row, went 8-8, didn't make playoffs. That team was a good team and should have went far in the playoffs.
There are 3 things a rookie quarterback needs: a running game, a tight end, and a defense.
Washington has that. They have Pelu. If they bring back Hightower, Evan Royster had a very good.
I'm not saying they need all of them at once. I'm saying they need one of those 3.
Well, those guys had pretty good years, and with the kind of zone running scheme, they could do the bootlegs and stuff that Shanahan likes to do with RG3.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, you think they have $49 million under the cap. Vincent Jackson is out there.
Santana Moss is not done by any means.
He's so that I was saying Mike Wallace, even though we said that they're probably not getting the first round pick for him.
I'm telling you what, if Santana Moss had an outside receiver with him throughout his career, Santana Moss would be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, saying Vincent Jackson, Marcus Colston, those guys are going to be out there and available. They're wanting big contract money. They have $49 million. You get use Vincent Jackson for example. Vincent Jackson, you trade up for RG3. You know what I mean? Their front seven was, their defense wasn't the issue last
Washington's
year.
not a bad team.
You grit that front seven. They're already pretty good against the run. They get after the quarterback with Arakpo and Kerrigan. Their secondary is kind of suspect. You don't know about Landry. You don't know about Hall. If they're going to be back next year. But you sit there, it's like, oh, wow, they got a running game is solid. You got RG3 who, they don't have a great offensive line. He can make up for that with his speed. You get a big-time receiver in Colston or Vincent Jackson. In a division where I know the Super Bowl champions came out of there, but they were 9-7. Let's not forget that.
Uh-huh.
That's you can get to 9 wins with that team. You know what I mean? Like, not say easily, but I mean that's doable. Now, obviously, we know the Eagles will be better. The Cowboys are gonna make adjustments, et cetera, et cetera. But I think they're right there in the thick of it.
Yeah,
if they
me
can
too.
find a way to get a big time receiver, and RG3, they're right there. So I feel that's best fit.
You get a big time receiver and actually let Maurice play the slot.
Yeah. Now, where I think it would be, I've been telling all the people all the time, and I'll just put it on record here, I don't see Cleveland Browns trading up for that because I don't think that's Mike Holmgren's style.
If I was him, I'm like, come on, Cleveland, don't pick me.
Well, you think about it, like Mike Holmgren, he seems like he's one of the values picks. Look at all the picks they got from Julio Jones. I don't think they want to just give all those up, right away. I think they really want to build around. Obviously, I'm sure they want to upgrade the quarterback.
Not a bad quarterback.
I think they want to upgrade there, and but I think they want to get pieces in place because they have no offensive playmakers right now. Like they want to be able to play. There's people like Justin Blackman gonna be out there. There's gonna be. They had the 21st pick. They can even get maybe Malcolm Floyd falls from there. Maybe they sign somebody. Their defense was not bad last year. It was they returned the corner defensively. They just need offensive playmakers. I think it would be great for the city of Cleveland because of how bad the Browns have been to get a guy like RG3 that can inject some life into that franchise.
That's just a place I just want to play.
It's so difficult with having the Ravens and Steelers and even the Bengals who had a good
uniforms are ugly, stadiums ugly.
You got the history though, Jim Brown.
Man, yeah, I don't care. Whatever.
But I think it would be nice for the city. But I think RG3, I think best fit football wise. I don't like the coaching situation there. Football wise, I think Washington is the best fit. I'd like to see him in Cleveland just because I think it'd be cool for the city. But for all we know, a team that we're not even talking about could trade up and go get him. You know what I mean? We have no idea. But I think it'll be interesting to see. But I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. He's going number 2.
Yeah, I would say so.
And the Rams are going to benefit from that if they are able to trade out of that pick and get all the picks that they're wanting.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew Brees, speaking of quarterbacks, they're rumored to be $5 million a year apart. How?
For how many years?
I don't know. He won. I don't know the exact particulars. I just know that they're $5 million.
I mean, they didn't need to pay that, man.
Yeah.
We don't even need to talk about this. It's Drew Brees. You see what he did last year.
Carl Nick's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He's a free agent. Maurice Colston, their best receiver, free agent. Drew Brees, a free agent. Obviously, they got to franchise one of those guys. Why don't you get that deal with Brees done and franchise one of them so you only lose one of them?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I'll let the offensive guard go.
Yeah, because you already paid Jahari Evans, the other guard, big money. You can't pay two guys like $100 million combined from guards. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just too pricey. So you sit there, you do that, you franchise Colston, so you keep Brees and Colston connection together. You refill the guard position through the draft or something like that. But yeah, I don't know how that happens. How does
politics, man?
Yeah. So to me, it's
does anybody really believe he's not going to be playing for New Orleans next year?
Exactly. He's going to get franchised. That's why people are like, "Oh, that's LeVar."
I like
Arrington.
watching Baltimore people panic on Facebook, like, "Oh my God, Ray Rice is a free agent."
Well, I saw LeVar Arrington tweet saying, "Bring Drew Brees to the Redskins." I was like, "He's not going to not be franchised. He's not going to be a free agent."
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Now, if he was, no duh, everybody should go get Drew Brees, but he's not going to make it. And you talking to me?
Check your phone.
Stat boy. Good call.
Yeah. See, this is why he keeps us in line. This is live television right here. So we would check this out. But yeah, so Drew Brees isn't going to leave New Orleans. Where'd you put it at? Where's it at?
Send a tweet to you.
Okay. Deshaun Jackson will be a long-term Philadelphia Eagle.
Oh, yeah. They
Dylan Atkinson.
Yeah.
Think so?
No, well, they franchise tagged him.
Yeah, franchise him, but is he a long-term? Will he be there long-term?
It depends on the season they have this year.
I think they're going to, to me, I felt they're not going to get able to trade him this year because I feel that everybody has like a sour taste
If he has
in their mouth.
another year like he did this previous one, he's gone.
Oh, yeah. I think he won't be there long-term. I think that
Well, they got
this year is at
coming
the
in.
longest.
They want Plaxico bad.
I think that'd be a good move just
Yeah.
because you get that bigger target for the red zone, help Vic out. You already got Macklin and Deshaun. Everybody knows they're the top two guys. I don't think Plexico wants to disturb that. But Deshaun, I think it'd be great. Him and Vic, I think that's a very great combo. It's definitely on the deep ball. But I just don't think. I think Deshaun Jackson's, he's a selfish player to an extent. He wants that security, that long term stuff. I just don't like his attitude to check, kind of pulling back because he was scared to get hurt type of thing. Because I think that's how you get hurt, is if you play, not scared, but like afraid to get hurt in a sense. I don't think he'll be there long term, but things have, crazier things have happened. So I think it just depends on how much money, if he gets his money. And do the Eagles want to commit that to a guy who's a head case?
Well, Plaxico, Macklin, and Jackson. That's a pretty nice.
Yeah. You know how many people are going to, all the haters who talk a lot of smack about Plaxico and Vic being on the same team?
If they get him, I might predict them to go to the Super Bowl. Not
honestly, I was bullish on picking the Eagles this year. I was not a fan. I was like, oh, they're overblown.
Nothing ever happens.
I thought they'd make the
year.
playoffs. Don't get me wrong, but I like them a lot this coming year.
Yeah.
They are definitely
and they
in
started
a very,
playing at the end of the season.
In my very short list of Super Bowl favorites. Obviously, we have to see what free agency brings in the draft and etc. Things will change, but right now, looking at that team, I think they're gonna be all right.
I got 3 teams from the NFC by default. 4 by default. 3 I'm picking though. 1 is the Giants. That's the default team.
Yeah, champions. You got to put them.
New Orleans, Green Bay, and Philadelphia.
San Francisco if they get a receiver?
No.
Even if they get a receiver?
No.
Don't think so? I mean, that team just went 12-4, just went to the NFC title game.
The only reason they have a chance is because they're in a terrible division. So they're going to get home field.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to have to go through 49 or San Fran. But you think they're better than Philly, New York, and New Orleans? Well, they beat New Orleans.
I think they're, well, like, I understand New York, but I'm talking about I'm assuming they get a receiver that they keep talking about. They're saying they're going to draft one and sign one.
On the road in the playoffs, do you see them beating any of those teams?
Which team?
Philly. On the road.
So hard to project out. I guess right now on paper, no. I guess if they play to their potential, if the Eagles play to their potential,
yeah, that's what I'm talking
about. I think the Eagles are more talented teams in that sense, more explosive.
New Orleans at home.
If they get New Orleans in San Francisco, I got San Francisco. If they're playing in New Orleans, well, obviously,
yeah.
But we were just talking about if they lose Colson and and Knicks and whatever else.
Well, we're assuming the best scenario for each team.
Yeah. It's so hard to beat New Orleans in there.
You have AFC teams, no teams.
I think the Patriots had so many holes and they still went to the Super Bowl. I think they fill some of those holes this offseason. So to me, they're the clear-cut front runner.
Tom Brady did work in that Super Bowl with no help. Like he had no defense people, and they almost won.
Yeah, I think obviously the Steelers and Ravens are always going to be in the discussion. The Texans, they had some injuries. You got to think they're going to be into it. I think if a team to look out for. We talked about it in class a couple times. Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning are looking like a package deal. If they go to a Miami, maybe they go to...
Please don't send Peyton to Miami.
Maybe they go to Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, Reggie Wayne, and Peyton Manning. That would be a
Houston.
team, Think Houston?
That would be so cool if you went there.
Just to piss on the Colts? That would be fun.
I like stories in my games when leading up to it, so...
Yeah. Go to the Titans. Reggie, Chris Johnson in the backfield. If they get Cortland Finnegan back.
Well, they got Hassel back, and they got the other young quarterback.
Yeah,
too.
Jake Locker. Well, Locker can sit another year and then cut Hassel. But I think that also impacts who we talk about. I think if Detroit can get back Averill and then sew up that secondary, I think they could be a team, not necessarily like a Super Bowl winning, but I think they can be in the discussion as far as like a team that people are going to look at. I think, and like I said, if Arizona got, like say they did get Peyton and Reggie Wayne, I think that team...
It's going to be tough. They signed Cobb for...
the Bears are going to get Cutler and Forte back. So they're going to be more of a fact. So I think it just kind of depends on where people sit.
My intern would tell us how much time we have left.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move along to NBA now. Because you see the All-Star game?
No, I didn't. I did not watch it.
All right, well...
I'm just being honest. I didn't watch it.
I watched the last 2 minutes.
Good thing about that is the Sports Center, so I kind of watched.
So did you saw, obviously, the end of the game?
Yeah.
I want to get your opinion on it. I watched it live. I'll get to my opinion in a second. I do want to, since you saw highlights.
You talk about LeBron?
Yes. What did you think of that last 10 seconds of the game?
I saw Wade open. I knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And I knew he saw him open. So I understood why he was trying to pass it there, even though Carmelo was open. Mm-hmm. Why would you bomb a three from 40 feet away with like 8 seconds left? I don't understand what Kobe was talking about there. I guess he wanted him to,
it was
drive.
I have to double check. It was a 1 or 2 point game. Like he still could have got either a tie or a win by getting a 2. I want to say.
Well, that whole play was kind of like chaos. There wasn't no.
Yeah, because Darren Williams missed so bad, and then he got the rebound past LeBron. Then
LeBron was the reason they were back to get there.
Yeah,
and I don't even like LeBron.
As a basketball fan, I was looking at it. He was 6 of 8 for 3. You know what I mean? Like he brought them back. He was the most dominant player on the floor in the second half. To me, 5 seconds left. You got the ball. Kobe's yapping in your face. take it to him. Like, as a basketball fan, like, I was like, go
But it
after
happens
him.
so
You know what I mean?
quick, though. This is
I understand. I just think it was, you know, I have no problem with passing the ball if it's a good basketball decision. Like, if he would have given it to Carmelo and Carmelo shot the three, I wouldn't give him heat because I was like, well, Carmelo was open. Carmelo makes those type shots.
Well, me thinking that's the point guard because I play point guard.
Right.
If I see Wade in the corner wide open, I know he saw him because I saw him. I'm like, Wade's down there below. That's an easy three.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Wade, the thing about Wade, he's only made 1 3 this year, and it's a cross-court pass. That was what I had an issue with because, like, we're always taught, like, when you play basketball, don't jump when you pass and don't throw cross-court passes. You know, you want to keep
the problem is when he saw Wade open, he was on that side of the court.
Yeah.
And then he took like
another couple steps. He hesitated,
steps.
and hesitation gets you killed. I said
So it was a good idea if he would have went through with it the first time.
Yeah. For me as a basketball fan in an All-Star game, Kobe, LeBron, I wanted to see that, happen. And I felt that was his best chance to take. Why not take a shot? Because if you lose.
What do you think LeBron's thinking like that? Like, oh my God, All-Star game, it's me and Kobe. Let me go ahead.
Well, I was thinking with he got the ball back. They got a second chance. I'm thinking 5 seconds left. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of, I'm obviously guessing here. I'm not LeBron. I don't know what's going on his head. I was thinking maybe he'd be like, all right, 5 seconds. We need something. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's basketball IQ,
I mean?
and everybody talks about how smart LeBron is. But when it comes down to really, really needing your IQ, basketball IQ, like the fourth quarter, he's nowhere to be found. So is he really that smart of a basketball player, or is he just really, really fucking talented?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see what I mean, though. You get the ball at 5 seconds, and you see, it was more like isolation because everybody's on that side of the court. We're trying to get the rebound. I feel you have like kind of the whole side of the court. I kind of felt like, just take it. You know what I mean? Just go with it because the time's running out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like all chaos. I think at that point you just say, all right, screw it. Let's just go. Yeah. And I know LeBron can score one-on-one. I've seen him do it plenty of times. So to me as a basketball fan, I just wanted to see him take it. This is what disappointed me. If he would have taken it and missed it, I would have made a joke how I missed another one. But like I wouldn't have. That was my thing. Is that it just looked like he didn't want to shoot the ball.
No, I think that's gonna mess with LeBron come playoff times that Kobe said something to him. Now imagine if Kobe didn't say anything. To me, it seemed
like Kobe was almost like we're friends or whatever. We go out there and it's like, oh, Kobe come on, man, take that shot. Like you know what I mean? Because like they're friends and competitors. Like as a competitor, he's like, you gotta take that shot, man. Like Kobe would have took it at him. Chris Paul would have took it at him. The other guy, Carmelo, would have took it at him. And
I think Kobe's getting tired of LeBron being a little girl.
Yeah, because he knows how great LeBron could be. We all know how great LeBron could be.
He almost said like, what are you afraid of?
Yeah, take that shot. Shut me up. And come at me. I think that's kind of how he came across. I don't think he was trying to like show him up or anything. No. I think he was just like challenged, like, come on, man, take that shot. What are you doing?
Even Melo was like, dude.
Like, yeah,
Melo was just mad because he
wanted the ball.
Yeah, he wanted the ball.
He wanted the ball.
Be more.
Yeah, we talked about.
We shoot. You give us the ball from half court. We'll bomb it. We don't fucking care, man. What you mean? You've been to it. You've been to Northeast, man. We do what the hell we want, man. We don't listen to no coaching.
Well, we're talking about Kobe, and obviously he had the Wade. Wade broke his nose, and had the foul. What was your take on it?
It didn't seem like it was that hard of a foul.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised at the concussion. I wasn't surprised at the broken nose because if you hit a nose the right way,
He
you
didn't have no concussion.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know about the concussion. I do think it's interesting with them playing Sunday. Ron, go get him, baby.
Well, what's his name? Stephen A. Smith had a good point. It's not like Miami is a soft team.
Yeah.
I think they have more people than L.A.
My thing is, tell me, you obviously know, Andrew Bynum is stupid enough to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to because he's too important. Ron, I could care less if he's in the game. Actually, I prefer if he's not in the game because I feel he's that much of a detriment.
He's not going to do anything, though, because of his...
World peace.
No, he does anything. He's done.
Yeah.
With his history.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, if anybody's going to do anything, I don't think anybody will. I'm saying if anybody does, make it Ron. Don't make it Bynum.
Well, that's why, like, Skip was saying do that. I'm like, you do realize Ron has done that before, and he's been suspended, like, 60 games.
Yeah, 72 games for the brawl, we got some trade talks coming up. The trade deadline's March 15th. A couple of things that I noticed. I guess we'll talk about Rondo.
Don't trade Rondo. Trade Garnett. Trade Ray Allen. Trade Paul Pierce. Trade anybody else besides the youngest person. Youngest
the
best
franchise.
Yeah.
And we talk about Rondo. Where could he fit? Obviously, the Lakers just brought up because they need a point guard. I've always been a huge fan of Rondo, even though he's on the enemy, so to speak, the Celtics. But I just don't see, because of his inability to shoot, I don't think that's a good fit there.
No, Kobe would be.
Yeah. And Rondo's attitude, I guess Rondo's attitude would work better with a guy like Kobe because Kobe, has that stern, he's the leader, whatever. Because you need someone to keep him in check.
Is LA going to make a move? I don't think they will.
They got offered Michael Beasley for a first-round pick.
And they turned it down.
And they turned it down. Pissed me off as a fan because you get another guy who can score.
For a first-round pick?
That's going to be, 25th? You know what I mean? Really? It's going to be late in the first round.
They don't want it. I'm telling you, man. They don't want to bring anybody on. They're not trying to win this year.
I don't know what it is. It's frustrating me as a fan. Like, I don't want to, because they've done moves in the past without like people really knowing about it. You know what I mean? Like
It makes me iffy with the Chris Paul deal too. Like if they're turning down this type of deal, did they really want the Chris Paul deal too? Maybe they said something. It's like they don't want anybody, man.
Yeah, from everybody who's saying that on the low, they're just all their eggs are in the Dwight Howard basket, and apparently it's becoming more apparent than ever. They don't want to trade their. They says they didn't want to go with the luxury tax, but I hear they don't want to trade any picks because they're trying to put it all on the Dwight Howard deal. And to me, it's like putting all your eggs in the basket. It's dangerous, man. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather get a bunch of good players than one.
Like right now, you look at with the 7-footers they have. You give me, you get a Beasley and then a scoring point guard like Ramon Sessions or a solid point guard like Ramon Sessions. That team can win.
If you guys just fill out your bench, man, you guys are fine.
Exactly. You think about it, you bring in
you
guys
need a
like
point guard in the bench.
Yeah, you get Beasley, you get a guy a decent point guard and Sessions. So you move people like Artest and Murphy and Steve Blake. You have people on the bench that have experience that you can bring out there to get.
That would don't forget to go Odom.
Yeah.
Odom hurt him.
Yeah, getting rid of it for nothing. I was bothered by it because he's
doing nothing for us.
He was in the Chris Paul deal, so for me, it's like, well, we wouldn't have had him, so give us Chris Paul. But I think that'd be interesting. And I know Orlando's trying to keep Dwight Howard. We talked about, and
they're trying to get Monte.
They're talking about Monte Ellis.
That's not going to do anything. I think
Dwight
Dwight Howard. We talked about this last week. Should actually go to Golden State.
Yeah, and like to me, it's like, what would Golden State want in return? Do you want Jason Richardson and Hugh Turkoglu? Nobody does.
That's a dumb trade. Golden State. I hope Golden State doesn't do that trade.
Yeah. So, but I do think they're going to try to move Monte and build around Steph Curry.
I don't think they should do that, man. Keep that backcourt. Are you serious?
Get a big man.
Vote for us for NBA owners, man. We need a team, man.
I would love that.
Baltimore Bobcats.
New Orleans Hornets, baby. Baltimore Hornets. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
We should start that. Swag Money can do that. We can start a petition to get a basketball team here.
I would love to own a team, but we're getting that down the road.
Julie, I need you on that petition.
All right, with just a quick little tidbit. USA played a friendly against Italy. First time we beat them since 82. Well, not 82. In 82 years. Since 1934.
Hold up. I see that the Dallas wants Steve Nash.
Who doesn't want Steve Nash? Steve Nash, and to me, it's a mute point because he doesn't, until the Suns
He's too old.
Unless he asks for a trade, we're not trading him. So to me, I feel it's a mute point.
I don't want another Jason Kidd. Go get Dan Williams and Dwight Howard. All right, back to USA.
Yeah. Lakers, you can get Steve Nash. I won't mind. Italy lost to U.S. U.S. beat them 1-0. First time they beat them since 1984. 82 years. I felt that's a cool little thing.
Either way,
USA.
I'm good because I'm half Italian and I'm American.
Either way.
African.
USA.
American.
USA. All right. So now we come down to the point, fan of the month. Maybe a fan of the month winner. You going to do the drum roll? Kayla Owings is our fan of the month.
Yay.
She got a free t-shirt, free bowling for the social event, which was, really a success. So now it's March. Who's winning this year? This month, excuse me.
I'm going for it.
You going for it?
I'm going for it.
You disqualified.
What? I've been training. I've been training all month, son.
Founder, man.
It's 2 days into the month.
So everybody go in there, tweet the @SwagMoney Inc. Twitter account, hashtag SMILove. Am I correct, Sad Boy? Yes, it's SMILove. Do that.
Hey, what stats do you have, Stat Boy?
We're keeping track.
None. Because you're worthless.
That was cruel.
No, I love you. I told you, you're going to be my Valentine's Day next year.
Damn, you already put it in the spot. But fan of the month, get in there. Blow it up. Win that thing. You get free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? You like free stuff?
I like buffets.
You still got to take us to that buffet. Because we had over 1,300 downloads for Control Chaos. Download that.
We're going to Golden Corral.
SwagMoneyInc.com. Look at that right here. Check
Team
that
iPhone.
out. Team iPhone. Do all that stuff.
All right, upcoming events.
Upcoming events, we got the work. What's the exact name? It's the Human Resources. What is this again? Human Resources.
You're allowed to talk, Stat Boy.
Homeless event. It's on Facebook or on Twitter.
I invited everybody. I invited like 900
Human Resources
people.
Day or Homeless Day or Homeless Resource Day. There you go. I'm tongue tied.
Why didn't you say that 45 seconds ago?
Check that out. We're gonna be go to SwagMoneyInc.com. It's all right there for all the information. We're doing an event at the skating rink. Well, are we gonna do what we were talking about, Sad Boy? Prices? It's gonna be $10 a person. Kids under 8 free. Let's bring the family out. Bring the whole family out. Let's fill it up. It's not like bowling where you have a certain amount of people per lane. You know what I mean? So bring it up. Let's max it out. Let's
We're
get it to
all
where
in
we
the
can.
same lane, baby.
Yeah, we all in the same rink. Let's go. You know, how many of y'all, were skating when you were, in elementary
He wants to
school?
go go in a circle a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
personally.
exactly. I haven't skated since I was in 5th grade. Let's do it. Nostalgia, baby.
It's going down.
Memories.
What is it? When?
Oh, it is. Do we have an exact date on that yet?
Weekend of the 24th.
Weekend of the 24th, March 24th.
That's the 24th. This is the check down.
Yeah, the Human Resource Day. That's the 30th of March, if I didn't say that.
Yeah. Boy,
Follow us on Twitter at SwagMoney_Inc. Swag Money Gandhi, Swag Money Stacks, Swag Money Goose. Everybody else is Swag Money. Holla at them. So this is the check down, man.
Let's go bowling.
Let's go skating.
All right.
Swag Money, baby.
We out.
So I'm feeling like a pone. My committee keeps me on. I'm getting money, so my bitches stick to me like my cologne. I got a bottle of Patron, getting faded in the whip. Magic Johnson type of flow. Man, I'm sicker than you pricks. 6 nothing to the kid when I kill a beat. Slow it down like roofies. Always on point like 1, 2, 3. My ducks in a row, nigga, triple D. God, I'm nice, I can barely speak, but I still put beats in the coffin. We ride around town with a Philly drink on 151, then we spark our weed. Okay, let's back on up. Your chick is like a vacuum, bro. Did you get that? Yo, she sucking blow. What's the difference, yo? Damn, I go insane. I got this problem in my brain. Heavy beat I come across sounds like Abel and I'm Kane. I'm going back in like the halftime show is over and I'm about to go back in the game, nigga. Earn my dough, man. Fuck LeBron, I'm Kobe, yo. Joe, let's get it poppin', nigga. Is you with me? If you not, no need to hit me, cause I'm riding through your city, Joe.